Oh shit. Fair warning, this video jumps around a little bit. I ran into some issues that I wasn't expecting to run into. Hope you guys enjoy the video, but do me a favor, if you're watching the video and you like this content, go ahead and subscribe. I took a look at my subscribers and viewers, and half of the viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're one of those people, click the subscribe button. That way you can watch the rest of my videos. Enjoy the rest of the video. Mary Kate, we're not really getting transmission fluid. We're buying a tractor. Mary Kate wouldn't let me get a tractor. I wanted to get a nice, cool tractor to drive. I don't even have a yard for a tractor, but I want one to drive around the neighborhood.
More toys.
The tractor's a tool, not a toy, Mary Kate. Alrighty, I am back. And I left a mess that I'm gonna have to clean up. We've got trans fluid. This is not the one that I was waiting on. The stuff that I was waiting on still hasn't shipped yet, so this is the backup plan. I have to make sure that everything's good. Want to run the transmission through the gears before Jason gets here. That way, if there is any issues, we can sort it out before Streetcar Takeover. So we're gonna put that in there to make sure that the trans is good. If the fluid gets here that I ordered, we'll run that stuff. Just drain out the high guard and we'll put in that stuff that I ordered. I also have some new gear oil for the rear end. I'm going to change that since I haven't changed it in a while. So I'm going to change the rear gear, the diff fluid, and also put some new friction modifier and gear oil and stuff in there. And then we'll take the car for a drive if the weather's okay, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. What else? Jason will be here on Wednesday to put these on. So this will probably be the video before. I don't think I'm gonna do another video between now until the next video. You'll see Jason will be here. We'll be doing that kind of stuff. Working on the suspension and then going to the track 2 days in a row, weather permitting. I think there's actually a testing tune today. I'm not there. I would kind of like to be there. We will get the trans filled up, get the diff fluid change, and then try to go for a drive. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I did fill the transmission. I was excited. Oh my God. I was excited and to use the transfer pump, and I forgot to film. But I'm gonna remember to film while I use the little transfer pump deal to fill the rear end up. Oh, metallic-y. Oh, stinky. Man, it's got a lot of shimmer in it. Look at all that. Oh, pro tip. If you didn't know, make sure you leave your top bolt in when you do your cover, so it acts as a nice little hanger. That way it doesn't fall until you're ready for it to fall. Oh shit. Uh-oh. I thought it was a little bit loud. I don't know, here, can you see? That shouldn't be in there. Okay, so it looks like the ring and pinion is fine. So that means that the tooth must have came off of the diff. The differential gears. Oh, there it is right there. You see right up in there? Let's see, right there. Wonder if that means it's time to go to a spool. Okay, well, so here's what's gonna happen. I am going to change the battery on the GoPros, and we are going to have to take out this stuff, out the axles, and take the brakes off, pull the axles out, pull out the rear gear and the diff, and I have a spool coming. The spool will be here on Monday. I really wasn't wanting to run a spool quite yet because I drive this so much on the street, but I think it's kind of time for it, so we'll just go with that. We're gonna do a spool, but we'll get everything taken out of here, get it cleaned up, and then this video is just going to be longer than I anticipated it being and cover more stuff. It was the main deal was going to be, the main theme of the video was going to be trans stuff, but I guess today we're going to talk about, on today's video on the Connor West YouTube channel, we're going to talk about rebuilding a 8.8 rear end. Got the wheel taken off now. The next thing that we have to do, brakes off, and then back here behind here is the retainer plates, because these axles are press-on style bearings, and then it's like C-clip eliminator type, so there's not a C-clip inside the rear end, but we'll take the brakes off, and then after we take the brakes off, we'll take this rotor off, then we'll take the retainer plates that are off up against the housing right here, and then we should be able to slide out the axles. Yeah. You guys like my check it out? I got this GoPro. Hopefully that was a cool angle. It felt like it was gonna be cool. Okay, so now the retainer plates right here, you can see they hold the bearings in that are pressed onto the axles. So these retainer plates are gonna come off. You know, never mind to the washers on the other side of the curtain. We'll take off these washers right here, or these bolts rather. Take these plates off, and then the should come out. Oh, that's right, I forgot there was a window right here to get an impact on it. You don't have to take the axle all the way out. You only have to take the axle out enough to clear the differential. So the other side is up against the wall. So basically all I'm going to do is just slide it out so that it's outside of the splines are outside of the diff. And then I'll be able to unbolt the diff. Mind your manners, you're on camera now.
Hey,
good neighbor Josh came over to help. Well, more like watch.
I can lend a helping hand.
You're going to help out?
Yeah, all the time.
You're just gonna.
Dude, I got half of this build under my belt. Don't listen to him.
He's got half of the watch time, maybe. Okay, that was not nice. Okay, both axles are out. Now I'm gonna take out the diff and the ring gear. What's your expert diagnosis?
I don't have one, but as you just said, right there in the corner is a spider gear that is no longer fully threaded. Fully toothed.
Fully toothed.
That's the Alabama spider gear right now.
I was gonna say, is it from Clinton?
Nah.
Clinton, Maryland?
It ain't trying to rob me yet. Yeah, I wonder if this could pass.
I feel like that should.
Somewhere.
No, I feel like that should be pressed on better than that. I don't think there's anything wrong with these gears. They look fine. We just have to reset the backlash on it. After a scary explosion of springs and madness. Josh, it wasn't gonna explode though, right?
It didn't explode.
It exploded.
It slightly came apart
That's...
in an accelerated rate.
Okay. There's the culprit. She gone. She broken.
We need some milk.
We need some milk. Yeah. That's pretty much all I can do, I guess, until Monday. And then guess what? The trans fluid came. It's over there in the corner. Trans fluid came right after I filled it. So. Alrighty, it is Monday. What's up, buddy? Say hello. Listen, while I was messing around, I killed some time with my RC car. I haven't used my RC car in a long time. If you want to see some RC car stuff, maybe I'll put a video at the end of this video so you could watch it. We've got the rear gear install kit is here. A set of gears. I also have the strange spool is here. Now, I don't have a press, but I have a plan. Oops, excuse me, sorry. I have a plan and I have a backup plan. The backup plan is to go to a buddy's house and use his press. So we're gonna try this. I'm gonna try the freezer and the oven method. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, the backup plan is to go use the press the proper way. I really would rather not hammer them on. I'm going to let the oven heat up and the freezer cool down, and I'm gonna clean up the garage, and then we're gonna give this old college try. I never went to college, but we're gonna still give it a try. The bearings are at about 210 degrees. The spool is nice and cold. I just pulled it out of the freezer just to kind of check and see. It was like cold enough to where as soon as I pulled it out, it started to get ice crystals all around it. So I'm assuming that's gonna be cold enough, or about as cold as it's gonna get. I'm gonna let the bearings go from 210 to like probably a little bit closer to 300. I saw a couple of things that say that if you know you got your bearings a little bit too hot, if they start to discolor. And so that's what we're trying not to do. We're trying to get them nice and hot and not discolor them. I don't think we need to go, you see people heating them with a torch to like 600 degrees, 700 degrees. I don't think you need to do that. I think probably like 300 degrees is enough. Anything hotter than that, I think you're really risking permanently damaging the material. So I'm gonna go to 300, and if it doesn't either A, just slide on perfectly and nice and easy, or B, slide on with a couple of taps here with the race installer, then we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go over to my buddy Grant's house and we're gonna go use his press. It's go time. And here we go, we're on here. It's still a little bit frosty right here, and it's still a little bit hot right there. But it's on there, went on pretty easily. Just took some good taps with the bearing install tool, and that's it. Easy peasy. I got a little bit scared on the first side, but I was really just trying to like tap it on really easily. Then the second side I gave it a little bit more, because I did remember that it is metal after all, and I'm hitting it with aluminum, so it wasn't going to damage it. But there you go. Just so everybody knows that they're torqued properly. I'm gonna be upfront with you guys. I'm gonna try my best to make sure that I film this part. But I can't make any promises, because this is gonna be, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of cursing, a little bit of screaming. Definitely though, a lot of not knowing what I'm gonna be doing at all. Good news is I have installed gears in an 8.8 once. So I know what it sounds like when they're not right, because I did set them up a little bit too, I set the Backlash up a little bit too loose, and I crushed one of the cages on the bearing. The good news is I didn't crush any cages, so I'm already doing better than last time I did this. Now this next part is going to be this shimming it over to get the Backlash right. So we'll see how this all goes. Okay, so essentially here's your pinion gear, right? And then this is going to be the space right here that we're shimming, and the space right here that we're shimming, and then that's going to be your ring gear right there. Okay, so the hardest part, I didn't take the pinion out, so we don't have to worry about the pinion depth. But the hardest part about getting this in is setting the preload on the bearings over here, which basically you don't want the carrier to sit in here and be able to rock back and forth. You want it to kind of have some drag as it goes in to the carriers. What the heck? I don't know what this is. To where the bearing races sit. You want it to slip in there nice and nice and what's the word? You want it to slip in there nice and snug. That's the word. You want to slip in there nice and slug. So golly. Take 6. I want it to slip in there nice and snug, and you do that with the shims on this carrier bearing. So that's how you're going to control, overall, that's how you're going to control the bearing preload, which is what will, as the bearings wear down, they get less surface area on them, so the bearings will get looser. So setting preload, which means that you're smushing the bearings in on each other. They've got bearing preload so that they're going to wear properly. Okay, so but the hard part about setting up a rear end is setting your Backlash, which is essentially how much space is between right here and right here as the teeth mesh on this ring gear. Ford calls for 0.08 to 0.12. So that means when you set up your magnetic feeler gauge here, as you rock the ring gear back and forth, it only is going to have 8 thousandths to 12 thousandths of an inch of backlash back and forth play. So without turning the pinion, how much it can rock back and forth in between the gears right here. If the backlash is too much, you need to take shims and add them to this side. And which will take shims from this side and add them to this side, which will move the ring gear over closer towards towards the pinion, and that is going to decrease your backlash. Same thing, if there's 0 backlash situation, you're going to take shims from this side and move them over here, and that's going to move the ring gear that direction, and then you'll get away from that 0 backlash situation and get into where you want to be, which is 0.008 to 0.012. Well, as I suspected, I did not video at all. One, because I put it in and I was like, well, there's no way I'm gonna be anywhere near correct on the first try. And I threw it in there and I went to go check the backlash, and it was pretty decent. So you can see we're, well, on 10, well, 0 and 10 on the first shot. So I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna, that's gonna be it. That I'm gonna leave it, because how often do you guess on the shims and get it exactly in spec? Hopefully there's nothing on my face, but here you go. Here's a tip. When you're doing your diff fluid, to fill it easier, you take your bottle, then you cut a hole in the floor of your trunk, run a tube up, and then just fill it down the tube. Easy enough. All right, so we've got the bump. You look at, you can see them clear all the way through. There's a spool in there now. So the spool's in there. The cover's on. It's full of fluid. We'll find out. I already put the cover on, so Jason's not gonna be able to double check it. So if the car breaks, it's my fault. That's gonna be it for today's video. Don't forget, stick around, comment, like, subscribe first, and then don't forget to stick around if you want to watch some RC car fun. I was chasing the geese with the RC car. That was a good time. But thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next video.
Take every word, burn it like fluid. Just a red light running right through it. On the top of the mountain, yeah, we fly away to the top of the mountain. Yeah, we never coming down from the top of the mountain. The higher you get, the me coming back dangerous. Oh, this trouble just keeps me climbing so high. But from way up here, I swear this game was made for us. 'Cause I can touch the sky. From the top of the mountain. From the top of the mountain. Yeah, we never coming down.